So in this video, I want to talk about the chances of a Season 3 for bottom tier character. Now, to be very clear on what has been covered, Seasons 1 and Season 2 has covered up to Volume 7 of the light novels, and currently, right now, Volume 11 did just release earlier this year, and apparently the author is working on Volume 12 as well. So if you count volume, like everything going up to Volume 11, that also accounts for the 0.5 volumes. There are 5 volumes. So to be very clear, before someone goes, but 7 and 11, you've also got to account for the 0.5 volumes. So that adds up to a total of 5 volumes are available. So you could argue that there is enough material for a third season, especially seen as Season 1, Season 2 covered 7 volumes, which is 7.5. But then there are also 0.5s in there too. So again, I'm just pointing out those kind of discrepancies. So there is enough material just really for another season, but as I've spoken to some people about this topic because I've been asking those that have read the source material. I've read some of it, but not enough to know where the anime is up to. We've come to the conclusion, and this is my opinion on this, is that we need at least a couple more volumes. I'd say another 2 or 3 more volumes to give what I like to call the wiggle room. And the reason why I say that is for 2 reasons. Let's say Season 3 does come out. 2 things are Season 2 is that 1, it needs to have enough source material ahead of it so it's got that space just in case it does cover a little bit more. But the main objective is to sell volumes. That is its primary objective. A new season will sell volumes, whether it's the manga or for the light novel. It is there to help boost the source material sales. So if there is very few volumes that are left, as let's say for example Season 3 got announced now and it came out, and Volume 12 maybe came out at the same time as Season 3, there wouldn't be many volumes left after Season 3's come out, so there wouldn't be much of a boost in sales. But if they allowed a little bit more space, it allows people a little bit more wiggle room to purchase those volumes. It boosts the sales a lot better, and so a lot of the times those series like to have that little bit of extra space to help boost those sales. Then you've also got the factor of making sure that there is a little bit of flex room so that it can cover that material and have a little bit left over. It's kind of a two-parter. It kind of melds into itself. So I do believe if Season 3 is to happen, it needs a couple more volumes just to get ahead of the source material. And also the other thing is, let's say, for example, Season 3 was to get announced, it comes out in a year's time, then there's very little material left. Then you'd have to wait even longer for a Season 4 to ever happen, which is why sometimes it's better to pace seasons out, especially when you get into this kind of area where there's not as much material left. So pacing is also important as well. Otherwise you'd have a situation of waiting like 7 to 8 years before there's enough material, because sometimes authors will only release a volume a year or a couple volumes. It always fluctuates. There's never certainty in those kinds of things. So that's where I stand on it. Now, as far as the chances go on other factors, I think honestly bottom tier character is one of those where it's like, it's got its own strong following, but it's not a massive following. It's not like it's got an audience of, say, like My Hero Academia or Overlord or Oshinoko, like, or other romances. Think of something like Quintessential Quintuplets or something like that, or another one would be Rent a Girlfriend. It doesn't have that kind of popularity. Now, those are mangas, but again, when we're looking at popularity, it doesn't have that kind of push, but I do think it has its own strong enough fan base, and it does have some good merchandise out there, that I do think a Season 3 is possible. It's not guaranteed, but it is definitely on the tables of a possibility. I would say it is a 50-50. It's a bit of a coin flip. I'd like to hope for a little bit higher chance, but I'm just going to be honest on my own opinion and how I see it. I think it is a 50-50, just because as you go into further on seasons, the chances of new seasons become less, especially if they're not a big heavy hitter, which, as much as I love bottom tier character, it's not a home run kind of hitting kind of series where it's just going to pump out merchandise and volume sales to a ridiculous high amount and then get multiple seasons and you got like 5 seasons of it or something like that. I definitely think there is a good chance for it, but it's not guaranteed. So wanted to put that out there. I'm sure some people will scream in the comment sections disagreeing with me, and that's fine, but I've generally been pretty accurate with a lot of these kind of things. Not always perfect, so always take my opinion with a grain of salt, but it's just one of those where it's like, you can kind of tell where a lot of these series will go and the chances of it. Also, as a reminder, if there are websites claiming that there's rumors and leaks, again, don't believe those. Those websites generally just make a leak up or a rumor, and then when it doesn't come true, they then just backpedal and go, oh, it was delayed. I see those a lot. I see YouTubers covering those things. There's clickbait channels that use text-to-speech bots. Those channels, again, if you want to believe them, knock yourself out, but I've seen people believe those channels for many years, and they end up kicking and screaming at me, blaming me for them falling for that rubbish. It's not my problem if you fall for it. So, fair warning, but it is what it is. So, if anything does change, I will definitely announce it on the channel as far as bottom tier character goes, because I love the series. I have read a lot of the volumes, but I should probably catch up on them as well. So again, if you like this video, hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you beautiful nerds in the next video.